The past few weeks, I've seen several posts on social media. What are those hit songwriters doing in the writing room? They're selling out. What exactly happens in a pro writing session? Welcome, everybody, to SongTown. We're in the SongTown studios. I'm with my co host, Marty Dodson.
Come on.
We are going to continue our train roll of not telling each other what we're going to talk about ahead of time. But this will be an easy one, Marty. It seems like the past few weeks, I've seen several posts on social media about what are those hit songwriters doing in the writing room? They're selling out, and they're just writing this stupid stuff, trying to just sell out. And you and I have spent a couple of decades in pro writing rooms, and we've been fortunate enough to have some success, to write with great artists, producers, other writers, Hall of Fame writers, hit writers. And so I just wanted to kind of set the record straight and paint the picture of what exactly happens in a pro writing session when we're in the room writing a song. Has it been your experience that you're going, how can we write the dumbest thing for the most people and sell out? Like, has that ever crossed your mind or crossed your co-writers' minds?
No, I don't recall that ever being a part of the conversation. But at the same time, you have to remember we're in the entertainment business and not all entertainment has to be super serious. So
Yeah.
I've got some silly songs. My song, Doing It to Country Songs that Blake Shelton and the Oak Ridge Boys did is a silly song, but it's to entertain people, and people laugh and smile when I play that song or when Blake sings that song. But at the same time, when we were writing that song, we're not going, let's just write something so dumb that, you know, somehow it'll become a big hit. We just wanted to have fun and write something that we loved.
Yeah.
And that's where I think most of the success for hit writers comes from, is that they got in a room and they had an idea and they tried to make it as good as it could be. They tried to make it great, and they came out with something they loved, and turned out the world loved it too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's the key. I interviewed John Knight, who has, I forget how many number ones he's had. It's been a bunch, but he said that, that he started having success as a writer when they instituted every Friday they would get together and they would go, okay, we're going to write something today that probably nobody will want to record. We're just going to write it for ourselves. And he said they did that every Friday, him and his buddy, who's a well-known producer. And he said those songs were the ones that people started recording. And he said that it really showed him that when you write from the heart, when you write something that excites you, and then you try to write it to the best of your abilities, then he goes, those were the songs that surprised them because they had always thought that, oh, you got to try to write for the market, you know? And he said that can work sometimes, but he goes, what he learned to be really uber successful like he is that those days every Friday when they got together and wrote whatever they wanted to, didn't concern themselves with being commercial. He goes, those were the ones that got cut.
Yeah. And there's a lot of times that I'm in a room and I'm shooting for an artist,
Hmm.
but it's because I love what that artist does. So maybe it's a Kenny Chesney, and I love his music. I love to listen to No Shoes Radio, and that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of thing I want to write. So I'm writing it in a way that hopefully he would like and his fans would like and that kind of stuff. But I'm doing it because it's what I love. And by the same token, when Bro Country was really popular, I did not write that because even though there was a lot of opportunity to get cuts in that area, that's just not what I enjoy. It's not what I feel like I do well. And so I
Yeah.
didn't write that. I just continued to write the kind of things that I wanted to write, that I was proud of.
Yeah, and I think people that kind of lock into a fad and they get known, when that fad passes, they often don't have a long career. I think of
Yeah,
my buddy Tommy Lee James. Tommy is always bucked the system because he's always been a ballad writer, and he writes great ballads. But anyone will tell you when you get in the songwriting business, you got to write up tempo. You know, artists, they have plenty of ballads, but they need that up tempo, single. And Tommy's managed to have a career where he writes a lot of ballads. They're singles and they become hits. But he also knows, okay, I'm probably only going to have a hit every 4 or 5 years. And he's okay with that. He's sticking to what he
yeah,
loves to do. Um, and so I think it's some of it you have to be true to what you really love. I think if you're not doing
yeah,
that, if you're showing up and you're writing something you don't love, I don't think that will, 99 out of 100 times that's not going to be successful. Um, I had a writer the other day approach me in Starbucks and he was like, "Oh, I want to be a writer with songs on the radio." And he goes, "My songs are way better than that crap that's out there." And after talking to him, I found out he doesn't even like songs on the radio, but yet
yeah,
he wants to be on the radio. And so the likelihood of that happening, you know, write something. I mean, write what you like, and if you don't like the stuff on the radio, well, let the chips fall where they fall. Maybe you're writing for a Texas alternative artist or whatever, but I wouldn't walk around being mad because, you hate the stuff that you're trying to be like. Like that just blew my mind. It was very confusing. And
yeah,
I know when I'm in the writer room, every room I've ever been in, whether it's been with Lady A, Little Big Town, Darius Rucker, whoever, we always started first with a great title, you know, and or at least an idea or a music idea. I remember one time with Lady Antebellum, I showed them this guitar riff I had, and they loved it, and we built a whole song around that. We weren't going, "Oh, is this riff going to be right for radio?" And is it? No, we weren't. We weren't even concerned about that. We just found something we liked in the room, and we chased it. And at the end of the day, you let the chips fall where they fall. But we're always chasing something that we really like. And
yeah,
Ashley Gorley, when he's got that single on the radio, he likes that song. You may not like it, but he loves it. And I think that's the key is
hmm,
writing what you love and figuring out how to write it in a language that speaks to the audience you're trying to reach.
yeah. And I think even when you write with an artist, those artists, the ones that are successful, want to put out music that their fans love.
Yeah.
And so when they're in the writing room, they're not asking you to sell out. I mean, they don't come in and go, "Hey, let's just write something dumb like my last single and we'll throw it out there on radio and it'll work." They come in and
Mhm.
go, "Hey, I want to do this kind of thing because my audience loves it when I play this song. So let's write something that kind of speaks in that same lane." And so I think, like you said in the beginning, my experience has been that everybody that walks into a pro writing room is wanting to write something great.
Yeah.
And, it may not be a world changing song, it may just be entertainment or it may be to make somebody smile or laugh, but they want to make it great. It's been my experience.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, yes, they want to do something that their fans will love, but also artists are constantly wanting to reinvent themselves. You mentioned Kenny Chesney. Well, there was a point in his career where he was doing the same kind of stuff, and then he comes out with American Kids, and people are going, "Whoa, this is like way different for Kenny Chesney." Tim McGraw's another example. He would constantly come out with something that was fresh and different. I mean, artists have to keep if they keep doing the same thing, they're going to the audience will get bored. So they have to speak to their voice.
Yeah.
We know a Kenny Chesney doesn't usually sing a song that says "I love you, baby." I mean, that's not his strength. He may have only one time in his career said "I love you" in a song. I don't know. I can't recall any. But he's got, so they try to stay true to who they are as a brand, but they also want new and different things. They want to bring something new and fresh to the audience at the same time. All right. This month in Songtown, we have a special thing going on that we're doing. Every summer, we do a month where you can join Songtown for $5 for a month. All the money goes to Music Cares Relief. Yes. Oh no. What are we thinking? But yeah, we don't take a dime, and there's no commitment. It's just $5 for the month. We're not going to hit you up and say, hey, become a member and permanently and all that. If you like Songtown, of course, we'd love you to stay. And we love helping songwriters, and our members are having all kinds of crazy success, and we're proud of them. But this is about charity. So $5, I'll put the link below, and check out Songtown and give back.